At an interfaith event attended by hundreds of people from various backgrounds, a 40-year-old pastor stood at the front. He was known as a knowledgeable, authoritative figure, respected by his congregation. His sermons always touched hearts, and every word that left his lips radiated a strong conviction in God. Yet behind the calmness of his face, there lingered a long-standing unease. In his heart, he often asked himself, "Have I truly known God as I should?" That question was never fully answered, even after years of devoted service to his church. At that event, an elderly Muslim imam was also present. His beard was white, his eyes serene, and his voice soft yet deep. When it was the imam's turn to speak, the pastor watched him intently. The imam did not argue, nor did he challenge anyone's beliefs. He simply spoke about Tawhid, the pure oneness of God, selfless love, and sincerity in submitting to the Creator. After the event, the pastor approached the imam. "May I ask you something?" he said, his tone filled with curiosity. "Of course," replied the imam with a gentle smile. Their conversation lasted a long time. They spoke about the meaning of worship, sacred scriptures, and the purpose of human life. The imam never pressured him. He simply explained calmly, as if guiding a flowing river toward its destination. The longer they talked, the more the pastor felt something changing within him. The imam's words did not strike his logic, they touched the depths of his soul. In the tranquility of that elderly face, he saw something he had long sought: genuine peace, not merely taught conviction, but something fully experienced. A few weeks later, in a simple setting, the pastor returned to see the imam. With teary eyes, he spoke softly, "All this time I sought God outside myself. Today, I have found him in the oneness you teach." Then, before witnesses, he recited the 2 declarations of faith with a trembling voice. Tears ran down his cheeks, not tears of sorrow, but of relief after a long journey in search of true truth. The imam embraced him warmly and whispered, "Welcome, my brother. You have not left the light, you have just found it." From that day on, he lived more peacefully, not as a religious leader speaking about God, but as a servant who fully surrendered himself to him. That night, a gentle wind blew across the courtyard of the old mosque where the imam often spent his time. Oil lamps flickered in the breeze, casting dancing shadows on the walls. In a corner of the veranda, the pastor sat cross-legged, staring blankly at the prayer mat before him. He was no longer a pastor, he was now a seeker of truth, reborn. The imam approached slowly, carrying a cup of warm tea. "You haven't slept yet, my child?" the imam asked softly. The pastor, now a man who had chosen a new name, Abdullah, offered a faint smile. "Sleep comes hard, imam. There is too much echoing in my mind. Every prayer, every verse I heard from you, it shakes my heart." The imam sat beside him. That shaking is not a sign of confusion, but of awakening. A heart that begins to live feels every vibration of truth. Abdullah lowered his gaze. "All this time, I spoke of God from the pulpit, as if I knew him personally. But I only knew his name, not his being." The imam smiled, gazing at the night sky. "Many humans are like that, my child. They search for God in books, in stones, in symbols, even in grand buildings. Yet he is closer than their own jugular vein." Silence enveloped them. From afar, the delayed call to the Isha prayer echoed across the city, stirring something deep in Abdullah. The sound was an irresistible summons. "May I pray with you?" Abdullah asked hesitantly. The imam looked at him with gentle eyes. "Of course. Are you not now our brother?" That night, Abdullah stood at the back row. He followed the imam's movements, a little stiff but fully devout. As his forehead touched the prayer mat, tears streamed uncontrollably. With every prostration, he felt his past dissolve, his pride, his empty searching, the confusion that had bound him. When the prayer ended, he remained bowed for a long while. "I have never felt this close to God," he whispered, his voice hoarse. The imam patted his shoulder. "This is the essence of Islam, my child, complete submission to him, without conditions, without masks, without fear of losing the world." In the following days, Abdullah settled in the mosque community. He learned to read the Quran from the basics, studied the meanings of the verses, and with each passing day, his face grew calmer. People around him, initially curious about his presence, gradually grew to respect him. They knew that he had undertaken a long spiritual journey to reach this point. One afternoon, a young man approached him. "Sir, is it true you were once a prominent pastor?" Abdullah smiled. "Yes, but call me Abdullah. I once knew much about religion, but little about truth." The young man looked at him in awe. "What made you finally choose Islam?" Abdullah gazed toward the mosque's minaret, bathed in the sunset. "Because I found something words cannot describe, a peace not dependent on this world. I once spoke of God, but in Islam I met him." The evening breeze whispered through the courtyard, carrying the call to Maghrib prayer. Abdullah closed his eyes, feeling every vibration of the voice. In his heart, he whispered, "O Allah, you called me gently, and at last I have answered you." Abdullah's spiritual journey reminds us that the search for truth knows no age or title. From an experienced pastor, he discovered true peace through Islam, guided by a wise imam with gentleness and wisdom. This story is not just about a change of faith, but about how an open heart can find light in the most unexpected places. If you feel touched or inspired by Abdullah's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about your own experience finding peace and meaning in life. Your story might inspire others too. Remember, everyone's spiritual journey is different, but the light of truth always awaits those who seek it sincerely. Note, the names, images, and/or videos displayed in this content have been anonymized or altered to protect the privacy and identities of the parties involved.